Welcome to the Bard's Tavern, where we get all cozy and warm while I, Jake the Bard, your humble guide, talks about everything I can think of related to building, repairing, and customizing instruments of all kinds. In today's video, we are going to be talking about band instrument repair schools. We will be going over 3 schools in the United States that I recommend considering attending, where they're located, what you can expect as far as course load is concerned, and a few other tidbits of information that I hope will help you make as well-informed a decision as possible. Let's start with some general information that might help you make a decision a little quicker. Firstly, you have 2 options as far as your course completion is concerned. Those are getting a certificate/diploma and getting an Associates of Applied Science. The certification/diploma programs give you the information and training to get right into working for a repair shop, usually without the additional transferable credits that normally come with an undergraduate program like an associate's or a bachelor's degree. They generally take 9 to 12 months to earn, and after that you can go on to work and build your skills on your own or in a repair shop. The associate's degree option is great if you want extra instruction in things like business courses. Associate's programs often take 2 school years to complete, and they also usually have transferable credits if you think that you might want to continue or go back to school in the future to get your bachelor's degree. Though I will say that there aren't currently any bachelor's degree programs in band instrument repair that I'm aware of. But what you can do is continue to get your bachelor's degree in business administration if you plan on owning your own repair or music store. Now, of course, you don't need a degree to start your own business. People without even high school diplomas do it all the time. But getting some schooling in business can be a big help if you want to go down that path. Okay, let's talk about the specific schools now, starting with Renton Technical College. Renton Tech is located in the Seattle, Washington area. It's pretty much right in the middle between Seattle and Tacoma, which is pretty cool if you're a lover of the Pacific Northwest like I am. They offer 2 different options for learning band instrument repair, a 9-month certification course and an Associates of Applied Sciences course, which they advertise as taking about 17 months. Unfortunately, they don't have any on-campus housing or dorms, but they do have quite a few apartment complexes nearby, so that's something you'll need to consider if you're thinking about going to Renton Tech. In your first quarter, you can expect to learn the basics of cleaning instruments, soft soldering, silver soldering, padding woodwind instruments, and getting some stringed instrument repair techniques. You'll also learn how to fabricate parts for instruments when a replacement part is no longer available to order, or you can't find a replacement part in your pile of junk instruments. And you'll get an introduction on the client-facing side of the industry, where you will learn techniques on how to advise clients and the repairs that they will need to have done on their broken instruments. Quarter 2 will cover dent removal, some percussion instrument repair, more repairs in the clarinet and flute families, and piston and rotary valve repair techniques in brass instruments. You'll also learn how to play test woodwind and brass instruments so that you can make sure that they're in good playing condition. Quarter 3 will cover repairs in the saxophone family, some more advanced woodwind and brass wind repairs, and you'll also learn how to repair trombones as well. Trombones are a little different than your standard brass instrument repairs because their hand slides can be a little tricky to align properly. You'll also be doing a more extensive repair project to demonstrate the skills you'll have been learning in the previous courses. And then you'll also be getting more instruction on how to effectively communicate with clients and colleagues on repair techniques and best courses of action to get instruments up to good playing condition. Finally, in this quarter, you'll be learning some skills that will help you in finding a job as a repair tech after graduation. This is also where you will be finished if you decide to just go for the certification course and not for the associate's degree. Quarters 4 and 5 will cover more of the general college courses that you can expect from the associate's degree. These will be things like social science, a composition course, financial math, and an introduction to business course. You'll also be able to take music appreciation or any other general education class. Once you've passed all these courses, you'll be getting your Associates of Applied Science in Band Instrument Repair Technology from Renton Technical College. Congratulations! My college band instrument repair instructor is actually a graduate of Renton Technical College, and he's one of the best teachers I've ever had in all my years of schooling and mentorship. It's on his skill alone that I can say that Renton has an excellent program that is worthy of considering to pursue band instrument repair as a career. Though I've met several other graduates of Renton Tech who are also outstanding repair techs that further solidify my recommendation if Renton Tech is the place you want to go to school. If you've never been to the Pacific Northwest, I can tell you that it is a very beautiful area. I've personally spent a ton of time over in Oregon and Washington, and I always love visiting. The Seattle area specifically is really awesome if you're into 90s grunge music, since bands like Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, and of course the mighty Nirvana are all from Seattle. The nightlife is vibrant, the coast is beautiful, the seafood is fresh, especially if you go to Pike's Place Market, and Seattle-Tacoma International Airport is really close if you're a lover of traveling. There's also a thriving Asian community in Seattle if you're interested in Asian culture. The only downside of that area I'll say here is that the cost of living can be on the high side. That's something that can be alleviated if you're diligent with applying for scholarships and grants, and if you're able to have a part-time job while you're attending school. There are also plenty of music stores in that area that may be willing to take you on as an intern repair tech while you're attending school, which is awesome because it can give you a jump start on the stuff that you will be learning in later semesters. The next school on our list is Minnesota State College Southeast in Red Wing, Minnesota, but that's a mouthful to say, so from here on out, we're just going to call it Red Wing. Red Wing is a little over an hour southeast of Minneapolis, and it's right on the border between Minnesota and Wisconsin. Red Wing is also just a few hours drive from places like Milwaukee, Chicago, and one of the main band instrument repair supply companies called Allied Supply Corp in Elkhorn, Wisconsin. They offer both a certification/diploma program as well as an Associates of Applied Science program for band instrument repair. Unfortunately, like Renton Tech, they don't offer on-campus housing either, but they do have housing available through Winona State University as well as off-campus apartment complexes. Their certification/diploma program is 2 semesters long, and their associate's program takes 4 semesters. They also have courses specific to learning about things like guitar and violin making, but that's a video for another day. Red Wing's course schedule is structured differently than Renton Tech, so I'll be going through the full associate's degree program and explaining where the diploma program differs as I come to it. For semesters 1 and 2 of the associate's program, there are no courses that are intended for the certification/diploma course. Semesters 3 and 4 of the associate's program will effectively be semesters 1 and 2 in the cert course. In semester 1, you will take at least 3 courses that cover any general education course, a communications course, and a math course. Personally, I'd recommend your general education credit course to be some kind of business class. You'll get more business classes down the road with the associate's program, but having a good foundation and understanding business is such a big help if you plan on running or owning your own repair shop. Semester 2 will be geared toward history, social and behavioral sciences, humanities, and fine arts courses. This is really the calm before the band instrument repair storm, where you will dive headfirst into learning about band instrument repair. If you don't already have your tools by this time, then it's the perfect time to start getting all those tools you will need to get started in your third/first, if you're a cert student, semester. Semester 3 is all about band instrument repair if you're an associate student, and it includes a math and English course if you're a cert student. This semester will cover the fundamental theory and basic repair techniques for woodwinds and brass instruments. They also have an open lab where you will work on various projects. And you'll have a technical elective class that can be either accounting, business, or composition. Semester 4 at Red Wing will cover the more advanced woodwind and brass instrument techniques, and there will also be a class specifically for large brass instruments like tubas and sousaphones. Once again, you'll have an open lab where you can work on more advanced projects. For the cert students, that's all of what your program will cover. For the associate students, you'll have a small business development class, as well as another technical elective in either accounting, business, composition, an additional woodwind repair course, or a class dedicated to 3D modeling and printing for band instrument repair, which is what I would pick. Red Wing is a really popular repair school to attend. I've had many colleagues who went to school there, and they have gone on to be awesome repair techs. They're also relatively centrally located in the country, and as I said before, they're just a little over an hour away from Minneapolis and only a few hours away from Chicago, so you have a few options for airports to visit family or travel. If I had to come up with a downside to attending school in Minnesota, it would be the fact that it has a tendency to get bitterly cold in the winter there. I personally haven't spent as much time there as I have Renton and our last school on the list, so I'm afraid I can't speak much about their nightlife, popular hangouts, or attractions. But Minneapolis has a lot of awesome restaurants. The Mall of America is just south of Minneapolis, and there are plenty of Vikings and Twins fans. And a word of caution, since Wisconsin is literally just down the road from Red Wing, don't challenge a cheesehead to a drinking contest if you aren't from Wisconsin. You will lose and probably wind up having a really bad time. There's a reason that there are rumors of cheeseheads being banned from drinking contests. You've been warned. And now we are at my last school recommendation for band instrument repair, my alma mater, Western Iowa Technical Community College, or just WIT for short. For some reason, the schools in the Midwest like really long and drawn out names, and I don't know why. WIT is located in Sioux City, Iowa, and even after 14 years, I can say that I highly recommend going to WIT for instrument repair school. Now, I'm a little biased because it was the school that I attended, but I picked it because I felt that it was the best option for getting a good combination of traditional college life and instrument repair instruction. They offer both dorms and on-campus apartments, and their course schedule is very well structured. The only thing that WIT doesn't have that the other repair schools offer is a certification/diploma program. They only have a 2-year Associates of Applied Science program, and if a cert program is what you're interested in, then either Red Wing or Renton Tech will be right up your street. Let's talk about your course schedule at WIT. Semester 1 will include classes that cover basic shop safety, basic woodwind and brass instrument repair techniques, playtesting techniques for the instruments covered in this semester, a basic psychology class as a general education credit, and a class that covers learning about the band instrument repair field as an industry. Semester 2 will cover instrument case repairs, which I think is kind of cool because cases would break all the time, parts fabrication on a lathe, which was my favorite part, and some more advanced woodwind and brass instrument repair techniques, and also a class on playtesting Semester 2's instruments, and a class about workplace communications. The workplace communications course will cover things like speaking with clients about repairs needed on their instruments and how best to operate in a shop with other technicians. Semester 3 will include advanced woodwind techniques that require the use of a lathe. That will cover things like tenon and tone hole replacements on clarinets. Once again, I love the lathe, it was one of my favorite tools. You will also have classes that cover even more woodwind and brass instrument repairs and percussion instrument repairs as well. Finally, in Semester 3, you'll have an additional playtesting course, a music appreciation course, and a business class. Semester 4 will cover an applied mathematics class, shop management class, which is sort of like learning how to maintain your shop inventory, like your supply inventory and things like that, going in and ordering parts. It's a good class. Orchestral string repair, and your last semester of woodwind and brass repair. And there you'll have it. You'll have your Associates of Applied Science and Band Instrument Repair from Western Iowa Technical Community College, or WIT. Sioux City, Iowa is a little more off the beaten path than Red Wing or Renton. It's about an hour and a half north of Omaha, Nebraska, and it's about 3 hours northeast of Des Moines, Iowa. There are a couple of colleges in Sioux City too, so there is a bustling college life. There are also a lot of parks and outdoor things to do. Personally, I really loved living there while I was in repair school. I made a ton of friends, though you can do that at any of these schools, and the repair program is absolutely top-notch in my opinion. That is largely due to the leadership of their lead instructor, Mark. He's an excellent teacher, his patience is seemingly unending, and he's just a wonderful person. Sioux City's downsides are that it gets colder than Red Wing in the winter, and its airport is relatively small. If you want to go anywhere that isn't nearby via plane, you really need to drive down to Omaha. If you do decide to make Western Iowa Tech your school of choice for band instrument repair, then make sure to tell Mark that I sent you. I owe that man a great deal of gratitude for giving me an excellent foundation as a repair tech. So, there are my 3 recommendations for schools to consider if you want to become a band instrument repair tech. I'll have their links down in the pinned comment so you can take a look at their program details and decide which school is the right fit for you. And put any other questions you have about repair schools, repair techniques, and anything else you can think of in the comments. I'd love to read them, and who knows, maybe I'll make a video about them in the future. I'll also have links to my companion article and my merch store in the pinned comment. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to hear about which schools you've decided on. As always, I've been Jake the Bard. Now, go fix something.